days of the production were somewhat intense due to the now rapidly approaching broadcast date. Noreen Ackland, who had been editing this episode, received assistance from Eric Boyd Perkins, who by now had completed editing on The Girl Who Was Death. One particular weekend, to relieve the pressure, her husband, Richard Best, editor of some of the Diana Rigg Avengers episodes, was called in to help. Noreen recalls the hectic activity of those final few days.
Trying to get a final cut so that the dubbing people could get on with it. You know, the track layers and the music. We were always, you know, concertinaed at the end. Yes, we worked weekends. That's when Dick came in on a Sunday. And, quite late in the evening, anything up to 10 o'clock.
As a result of this concertinaing, the very last dubbing session for this final episode was delayed, producing an interesting chain of events, as sound editor Wilfred Thompson recalls.
It started because I thought the last film, we wanted sounds to be more realistic. So where we used silence in the car and the titles coming up, I thought, well, this time I'll lay a car sound on it. Pat didn't like it. And he wanted it as it was in the other episodes. So the only thing I could do, because it had to be quick, we were in the dubbing theatre, I said to Mary, bring down the master and we'll cut that in. So she brought the master down.
That's from one studio to another, of course.
Right through the titles, and we just cut it in one piece, and I cued it because I knew there was an explosion came up. Right, that I cued this to take an explosion out, and we sat in the theatre and ran it, and I'd forgotten about the cue. I forget to tell the mixer, and up came this bloody great explosion.
The thunderclap over Leo McKern's close-up. I mean, the stress, the pressure we were under, it was understandable that we didn't tell the mixer what we'd done. We wrote it down, we cued the picture, we put it on the dubbing chart, but we didn't verbally tell him. And of course, only one run, and then we're going to take. He's pretty well much in the dark as well. And it came up, and I really thought, oh my God, I'll die.
You were in tears.
I was, well, pretty well. And I said, Pat, I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. He said, what about? I said, the thunderclap on Leo McKern's close-up. He said, I thought it was great. You know, what a man to let you off like that. That is Pat's character.
As far as we're concerned, there was certainly a big one after Fallout was first shown in February 1968. The public felt cheated. Pre-publicity right up to a few days before broadcast indicated that all would be made clear in this last episode. The TV Times of that week ran an article.
Unmasking day for the face of number one. All will now be revealed. At last, you'll be able to discover the identity of number one. But watch closely, because he won't be served up to you on a platter.
It would appear that this promise went as far back as November 1967, when a viewer's letter asked about the significance of the penny farthing logo, to which a company spokesman replied,
This is a symbolic device, and the reason for it will be revealed later in the series.
Not only was there no satisfactory answer for this question, there was no satisfactory explanation of anything else. It was therefore not surprising that many people were angry.
That's what the series was really there for. We didn't realize it consciously at the time, because you don't. But we half realized that what the series was about was creative people, for once, running the asylum. You know, we were doing what we wanted and showing what the medium was capable of. And also something a little bit more serious, which has been lost, never followed up, showing what a marvelous tool television is for surrealistic expression. I mean, surrealism is always the counterpoint of two totally disparate and surprising images. And television is superbly equipped to do this. I mean, I still play about doing it on this machine here, putting two things together that, you know, are usually totally disconnected, and seeing what happens to you when you see them. This is what television is superbly equipped to do. This is, in my way, one of the ways that people's minds think, and one of the ways in which we're different from computers. And that last episode, I think, was one of the best examples of total surrealism. No prisoners taken.
One prisoner who many members of the TV viewing general public most certainly did want to take was Patrick McGoohan himself, who, after the showing of Fallout, became public enemy #1. To escape from attacks in the street and from angry people beating on the front door of his Mill Hill home with mallets, McGoohan took his wife and family to a secret location in Wales to hide until the storm caused by the final episode of The Prisoner had died down.
The only person that was involved on a level that was more than professional was Pat McGoohan. Everybody else was professionally involved, making a living in one way or another. Pat sort of got himself really involved in the series. The series was him finally. It doesn't matter who, the genesis was George's. But it was way over George's head by the end. It was entirely Pat's. And he lived it, not only in the series and the work he was doing, but when he came round there for a drink, he was #6.
Although Patrick McGoohan was exhausted by almost 2 years of solid hard work on The Prisoner, and disappointed that it did not initially receive the critical acclaim which he felt the series deserved, his original intention in 1968 was to make 2 cinema movies.